Welcome to this New Year edition of Preeminence Rising, aka Preeminence Posse PowWow, when my incredible contributors to Preeminence magazine get together and share some extra beautiful, juicy tips and advice about the theme of the issue. Now, what is Preeminence Rising? What is House of Preeminence magazine? It is one of the most exciting, bold, visionary, daring new platforms for women out there. We are redefining success for women in 2022. You ladies know that there is a lot of work to do in healing humanity, in creating your most thriving life. And if you resonate with either of those two things, then come and join us on the platform. We have this most beautiful magazine, absolutely chock-a-block with world-class leading edge wisdom for you. And I'm going to talk about the resources we've got for you later. The theme we're going to be talking about today with my ladies today is igniting and unleashing the goddess within you. Now, I know that a lot of ladies will not resonate with having a goddess inside them. They will just look in the mirror and go, the last thing I am is a goddess. You know, I've got a spouse and children and a house and animals and things going on. But we would like to show you that you do have an inner goddess. And if you can ignite her and unleash her this year, she will help you rise and thrive. So my guests today are, first of all, Alice Spraysgirdle is the founder of one of the most exciting new fitness movements on the planet. There is nothing else like it. It combines sacred ritual and dance and the funkiest music with fitness for women's bodies as the way that they should be. It is absolutely glorious. Check it out. I'm just going to quickly put her and put her. So it is called bellyfit.com. She will tell you a little bit about it shortly. And it is the most amazing new movement for women to have healthy bodies, but so much more than that, to be in a sisterhood. It's so juicy. So my next guest is Dr. Izdihar Jamil, who is a newly minted TEDx speaker. Her topic is helping women claim their voice. She knows all about what it's like to journey to success wearing hijab and in the States as well. And she champions women to claim their voice and their authority to get their message out there. We also have the beautiful Empress of Style, sage of style, Liana Shauli, couturier to A-listers, transformational leader. She is multi accomplished and so wise and beautiful, and she is definitely exudes goddessness. And then we have today also Gina Lazenby. Gina Lazenby is one of the world's best experts on healthy homes and feng shui, the art of energy balancing in your home. And as we all know, home has become a central focal point. So Gina's topic is something that concerns every single one of us. So let's go back to this theme right now. I'm just going to the theme of this particular issue that has just come out, which is unleashing your goddess. So I'm going to ask my guest to share with you why you listening, watching this replay, how you can unleash your goddess. What is your goddess? How do you get her to help you create your highest life? So I'm going to take that over to Alice.
Thank you so much, Jenny. So happy to be here with all of you amazing ladies. Yes, so unleashing, embodying our inner goddess. I think it's really important that we all think about and understand this word goddess and what does that actually mean. And when you talk about unleashing or embodying or cultivating this goddess energy within, there's a lot to unpack there, and there's a lot to understand. And I was thinking about it this morning. There's an incredible book that I just finished called When God Had a Wife. And it's written by archaeologists who go back into ancient history, ancient civilizations, and look at various religions. And what they unearth, what they uncover is that when you go back far enough, you see that every single religion had a god and a goddess. There was never just a god. But as we've come through history, as these religions have evolved, the goddess, in fact, most of the goddesses were written, literally written out of history. And so this writing the goddess out of history has essentially written it out of our awareness as humanity. So now we see God, and goddess is kind of this secondary aspect. So what we're trying to do here, and what I love about this new issue of the magazine, is that it really brings this idea of the goddess back into the forefront. But essentially, the goddess was not something within women necessarily. It was something that was a channel through which we accessed the sacred, the divine. So rather than seeing that as outside of ourselves, as we may have in, ancient history, we're now looking at seeing this energy, this aspect of ourselves, this sacred within ourselves, and tapping into it from within. So that's what BellyFit is all about. And that's what my article in the magazine is about. It's all about how can we access this sacred feminine within ourselves. We don't need to go through an external source. We don't need to have somebody give us access to this power within us. We have it within us. And the difference between BellyFit and a lot of other platforms or concepts or ideas around this, if you will, is that rather than talking about it or thinking about it or writing about it or studying about it, through the movement of BellyFit, we are embodying it. We are expressing it from within. We're really connecting to this energy within ourselves through the movement. So that's really what I'm here to bring.
And I can absolutely guarantee that when you dance the embodied goddess, it feels absolutely amazing. So thank you for that beautiful, lucid overview, Alice. Moving on to Izdihar.
Hello, darlings. Thank you so much for the interview. As you can see, part of me, believe in what the goddesses is using our weaknesses or shortcomings or every part of us and using that on top of our strength to share and touch people's hearts and people's using our voices to do that. As you can see, I've got baby Munchkin here with me who's hanging on, who's just fall asleep. And, even with that, still showing up. No matter what, no matter the imperfections, no matter the shortcomings. And like my article in the magazine, this issue is about using your voice even when the world wants you to be silent. Like who I am has always been had with preconceptions, prejudice, but that is not me. Those preconception and prejudice isn't me. It's what the society thinks or label me as. But the key point in my article is kind of like, that's the best part about you. Like who you are is the best part about you. Whether you feel that's your shortcomings, that's actually your strength. And now here I am, using that, chanting that, grounding that, sharing that, and kind of feeling that's really cool. I'm actually a cool person, when I'm holding in who I am, my message, what I stand for, even with a baby, even with a hijab, even being an immigrant. So what? What matters is the impact I have to humanity. So that's kind of like my vision for 2022.
I think all mothers are goddesses. this nurturing energy that we have. You know, this nurturing, loving energy which you just oozes from you. Very, very beautiful, successful lady, always embraces her mother, the mother in her. That is also, I think, part of us is women. We really do have all of these roles, and as Alice said, we don't want to cut any one of them out of us, because if we do, then we give our power away. So we want to embrace every single role that we have. You know, mother, leader, goddess, lover, friend, all impact maker, all of these things. So, Gina, what does the whole idea of living in your own goddess energy mean to you?
Well, in terms of home and life, closer to nature, the earth, and that means really understanding and honoring the seasons and the cycles. And here we are in the northern hemisphere in winter. You know, here we are at the start of a new year. It's January. There's this temptation to begin anew, and yet what's happening outside? The seed is in the soil. There isn't any activities under the ground. This is when the bear's in the cave, and this is what's happening in nature. And when we mirror that, and when we're closer to that natural cycle on the earth, then we're honoring our own true nature. And this is the time to be that seed and work out, you know, rest, restore, regenerate, get ready for when the spring comes, and then we can flourish. And then we come with you see the first shoots coming up through the earth, depending on where you live. And then, you know, the whole cycle is blossoming when there's more energy in the year. So this is not really the time of year, as I explain in more detail in my article, about taking this time to step back and then think about, have some vision, dreams, you know, like we were sleeping in that cave, some dreams about what will happen the year ahead. And our actions always follow those dreams. You know, we know if we're going inside, then we're listening to the voices within, you know, what we want to have happen and, you know, the mark we want to make in the world. And then we can start to put those into action later in the year, you know, as the year unfolds. So following that natural cycle of energy serves us in restoring, because as women, whether or not we have children, you know, we're always caring, and we're the chief homemakers largely, and sometimes we can put ourselves bottom of the list, and we really need to restore. We need to restore ourselves for the lives that we have, the homes we run, and the businesses that we run. We've got to have the energy for that, and this is the time of year to really charge up the batteries and step back. So that's what I do. It took me years to get that lesson anchored in myself, but I'm doing what I tell other people to do, and taking it slow, you know, and getting ready for how the season changes, looking out the window, taking the walks and watching what the earth is doing, and going with the natural flow of nature.
And Mother Earth is actually the ultimate goddess.
Completely.
She's watching and nurturing, and she is embracing us all. And there, of course, have been so many goddesses in different myths and cultures that are linked to the earth. So this connection with the earth and rooting with the earth, I think you're absolutely right. It's a really fundamental one. This isn't something that's out there. This is really about embracing natural cycles, as you so beautifully said. So coming on to Liana, whose transformational work actually encourages and helps women to find that spark of goddess. It's a topic that resonates a lot with you, isn't it?
I'm like sitting here on pins and needles going, yes. It resonates. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I be in the world. What am I a stand for? And I think it's from that space that I would love for all of us to look at this. You know, I've been saying this for 40 years. You are a masterpiece. You know, to know that you're a masterpiece is one thing. To be the masterpiece, you know, we've been created in the image of Source and the image of God. And what more of a goddess can you be I mean, we have Izdihar here with her baby. Many of us are mothers. We create life. Our bodies are made, you know, talk about being a goddess. Our bodies are receiving vessels, and with that receiving that we so beautifully do in the world, where we be love and beauty and tenderness and forgiveness and fierceness all at the same time, wrapped up in this beautiful package. We stand for beauty and grace. And through that, or inside of that, we create life. I mean, what more can there be? If you ever, any of you watching this, you forget, lest you forget, you know, the creation that we have within us, and I know that many of us are choosing not to have children, yet that same energy gets created into our everyday lives. How are we creating language? How are we creating friendships? How are we creating the love that other people have for one another by being a space of amazingness for them? Because when they look at you, when they look at us, they go, wow, if she can do it, I can do it. And so tapping into the goddess piece, I believe, comes through owning, claiming your crown, claiming who you truly are. You know, Izdihar said it so beautifully, that our shortcomings, I always say that our character defects can be turned into our character assets. And looking at yourself through the lens of divinity, which is sadly what most women don't do, there is a whole different aspect. Because if you look at yourself as a contraction, as a negative, as I'm too fat, I'm not good enough, I'm whatever it is that you're saying, try to change your view. Try to look at yourself and just focus on the things about you that are amazing, magnificent, beautiful, powerful, joyful, loving, tender. Because when you put the microscope on that I believe is a divine act. And that's what I believe we're here to do. So being a goddess, I think, is a way of being in the world that is at a much higher level. Don't stoop down to the negativity of others, because the world will call you into that. And so being a goddess for me, thank you, being a goddess for me is, you know, I'm not led by my circumstances. I am greater than my circumstances. And I don't have to react to the negativity of the world. I can choose at any moment to live my life at a higher level. And so come down from the pedestal that other people have put us on and be in the realness of life, because life doesn't need more role models. We need real models. And that to me is a goddess. And that's in my article. So go read it.
Yeah, we'll be giving the URL shortly. So the other aspect of this, so I hope whoever's listening and or watching this now, that you're hearing and absorbing how this goddess energy is actually something that is part of you. It's not something out there you've got to try and get, which is the kind of old success model. And on that, in House of Preeminence, we really are in innovating a new model of success with women in all their essential nature. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to pop back to Alice, because that is one of the reasons that her belly fit movement is just growing, and why women love it so much is because it's not just fitness with it is wellness for women with our bodies and our cycles and everything. So tell us how that feminine principle is so important to staying well, Alice.
Thank you. I love what everyone is saying so far. It's so perfect and beautiful. Yeah, so I think, you know, when people do the movement of belly fit, one of the things that's unique about it is that it has part of its roots in belly dance. And so what that means is that we're moving our hips, our pelvis, our pelvic bowl, our spine. And what women say a lot when they do belly fit is that it helps them connect with their feminine energy. And what they really mean when they say that is that they feel connected to the energy within their body, because that is where your feminine energy resides, and specifically within your pelvic bowl, right? As Liana was saying, it's, you know, we have this energy in us, and it's about connecting to that. So when we move the area of our pelvis, we start to feel this feminine energy rising within our body. Some people call it Shakti Kundalini. There's lots of different names for it. But when we do the movement of belly fit, rather than this energy sitting stagnant in our body, it starts to move. And that's what the feminine does. It moves within us. And I think it's also worth mentioning that, you know, we as women in physical female bodies, we are carrying the trauma of centuries of oppression within our bodies. The female body has been negated just as the goddess and the feminine has been negated and oppressed. We know this. So we as women are carrying an incredible amount of trauma within our bodies. So in order for us to embody the goddess, as we're all saying, and connect to these cycles within us and the cycles of nature, and speak our truth and be that work of art that we are, for a lot of us, that means healing that trauma within our body. And in order to heal that trauma, we need to get it moving, we need to express it, and we need to let it move out of us. And that doesn't mean that we need hours and hours of therapy. It doesn't mean that we necessarily have to have some cathartic release, although that may happen. But one of the keys is that we need to move it up and out. And that's what belly fit helps women do. And once we do that, there's space created within us to receive, as we've been talking about, to tap into that true feminine nature that is within us. But right now, so many of us are blocked. We've got these blockages all within us. And I know Gina would probably talk about that too. Within the home, we create blockages and energy can't flow. And where energy can't flow, there's disease. And a lot of women are carrying a lot of disease within them right now. That disease needs to move, be cleared, and then we return back to the joy and the health and the vitality and the balance that's within us. So I think that's what women are feeling when they're moving. With the belly fit movement, it's not just about toning our muscles, it's about healing.
Beautiful. And in and Alice goes into great detail about what is actually wrong with the current mainstream fitness movement, and underlines everything that she said in this issue. And there is also a free 7-part Embodied Goddess video training. Oh my goodness, this is worth gold. I've been through all of them. They are luscious. And so much so that I've signed up to be an instructor. So they are in the magazine. So come and check out that free Embodied Goddess course. It's not training. It's transcendence. It's just beautiful. That is in the magazine. And now I'm going to go back to Liana, because I know that she has to leave shortly, and I don't want to get together. Liana, you always exude the virtues of a goddess. How do women learn to, because you mentioned earlier on about virtues, and which I love, is that women are so full of virtues that they don't realize. So what are some simple ways or simple approaches or simple changes that they start to prioritize this part of their lives?
I first of all, thank you for saying that. I respect and accept what you just said, and I appreciate it. And I think that what you're seeing, because none of us are perfect. We're all masterpieces in progress. Okay. I think what's really powerful is the acceptance of the dichotomy inside of us, the acceptance of this is where I'm at, this is what I'm really good at, and these are the things that I'm working on. And there will be some things that I will never be good at, like math, okay? Like the understanding that there are parts of me that are absolute gifts that I came into this world with, and every one of you has it. So finding your way to the goddess, to the internal goddess, is not through resistance and the lack of acceptance of who you are. The path to the inner goddess is care and kindness and acceptance and love and tenderness. That's why I said earlier, put the spotlight onto who you are as a woman, onto the good stuff. That's where the entrance is. The portal to possibility and to greatness is not by fighting something. It's by finding what's amazing about you. And it could be just one thing a day. I always say, seek your sister's greatness rather than her guilt. And the first sister you see in the mirror is yourself. And we don't do that. We are constantly being hard on ourselves. And there's no cheese down that road. So if you're really looking, if you're really not being a seeker, but you're being a finder, I always say, go be a finder. Stop seeking. Just find it, because it's all right here. Yeah. Thank you, sweetheart. I wanted to just say that the beautiful URL that you put down at the bottom is fantastic. But if you guys want to learn and you want to connect with me, go to betheoffer.com, betheoffer.com, because there's some wonderful gifts there waiting for you. And Jenny, I am so proud and pleased and delighted to be part of this family. Thank you so much for letting me go earlier, because I have to go to another appointment. Thank you, sweetheart. It's so wonderful to be with all of you. For those of you who haven't read the magazine, make sure that you get it straight away. It is a university of knowledge. The diversity of this university is unbelievable. And for everyone who's read it so far, the impact has been great. Learning, loving, and understanding what's happening in the world from so many magnificent women. And I'm delighted and honored to be part of them.
Well, my posse is definitely about a band of goddesses. So bless you for that. So let's go back to Izdihar now, because you've entered an arena, a career that is not the easiest one. Is PR and creating authority. That's already, and being an authority, and you're doing it. You're doing it with embracing the culture that you have so beautifully, harmonizing that, and as a mother and as a woman, and just harmonizing all of those things together, and you just do it seemingly so effortlessly. So what can you share about, entering this world? You were in the States, and you've had all of this prejudice against you, and nevertheless you've really created a wonderful reputation for yourself as helping women to claim their voice. So how do you balance all of these dichotomies was the word that Liana used.
Thank you so much, Jenny. First of all, it isn't easy. As you can see, I've been holding baby Munchkin for almost 30 minutes. He's almost 20 pounds. My back's hurting and I gotta pee. So I'm like holding it in, okay, darlings? So it's not an easy thing to do. And I think like one of the things that I've learned throughout my journey is, which I shared in my article, so you want to go and grab and check it out, is courage and authenticity. Courage doesn't mean that there's no fear at all. I'm scared all the time. I'm even scared to come on this meeting and meet everybody, and like God knows what's going to come out from my mouth. And I'm scared all the time. But I feel that courage is like a combination of commitment, of fear, of action, and showing up. So having the courage to share what you feel, what you want to say, and regardless of what people say about you or around you, that is absolutely incredible. Like, one of the words I like to use is just epic. It takes a whole new level to be that. and authenticity, because God knows I can't be in a bikini, and that's not just me, isn't it? Like, so I'm who I am, owning my roots, owning my heritage. I speak with an accent. I don't even know which accent it is, but there is an accent. I've got like tan skin all year round. I wear hijab that's matchy with my top, depending on what mood I'm in. So that's who I am. And for so long, Jenny, I've been hiding because I was just scared. Because I remember the first time when I go live on social media, the first time on Mother's Day 2018, I was so scared that people shouldn't judge me, gonna call me names, gonna say horrible things about me. But because of the showing up and the perseverance and the courage, even though I was scared, and being who I am, that has paid off tremendously, touching people's hearts, people seeing what I do and kind of like, hey, if she can do it, and having been stopped by so many things, then so can I. And it doesn't matter which culture or background you're from, but people always have this sense of, do I belong? Do I fit in? How can I be? Am I enough? Well, darlings, I'm here to tell you that you're whole, perfect, and complete the way you are and the way you are not. So that's kind of my two takes with being a goddess, being the reality of who you are. You're the best. You're the perfect version of who you are, and there's no fixing needed.
Beautiful, just as a masterpiece, as Liana said. And yes, courage and authenticity are definitely virtues of goddesses. But I love the way that each of you have taken the idea of a goddess is off the pedestal. Sorry about that. So you've taken the goddess off the pedestal and brought her in to be relatable to absolutely everybody, which is what we're doing is trying to encourage women to live their highest life as their highest self. So going back to Gina. So you've got you write a little bit about magic in your article, and who doesn't love, as a goddess, who doesn't love magic?
It's an interesting word, magic, isn't it? I mean, what does it mean? Is it a stage show? Is it for a few people, a few gifted people? And yet we all can create magic, men and women. We can all create magic if you think about the word in a different way. And one way of looking at creating magic is synchronicities. Wow, that's interesting. And we'll all experience those. And, the other way is setting an intention. This is the perfect time of year to go within, really feel about, for the cycle ahead, who do you want to become? What kind of things do you want to experience? What do you want to have happen in your life? And then seeing those things and having, it goes beyond goal setting, which is a favorite thing to do. Although the more I read in the media, it's like they say, forget goal setting, do something else. But if you think about, what kind of year would I like? Who would I like, if in 1 year's time, who would I like to become? What would I like to have happen to me? Well, you're the architect of that. It doesn't just happen to you. So what is that process? It's like the seed, the seed in the soil. Within that seed, there's a map. There's genetic information, and it's a blueprint for something. It's kind of contained in there, and then out it comes from that huge oak tree. That from the oak tree comes from that tiny little acorn. So what is seeded within you? If you create that blueprint in your mind of what you want, then you make it happen. And this is the magical thing. It's amazing. I mean, it happened to me the other day when I just had this idle thought, and I thought, because I spend so much time working at home and nobody really sees me apart from here with a few outfits above the waist, I thought I need to upgrade my outfit. I'm wearing too many sloppy clothes. My sense of style is degraded. Back in the day, I thought I need an upgrade. And I went into this store and I found this famous designer at 90% off in an outlet store. I thought, oh my God, I bought an entire collection of things, all sustainable clothing, organic cotton. It was just amazing. I thought, I manifested that. I had this thought, but I'm so practiced at having this thought. And then, you know, within me, I believe that it can happen. This is a great time here to give some thought to things. And then, you know, you add power to that, you know, by creating a vision map, taking out pictures of representations of where you want to go, what you want to do, who you want to be. Images that resonate with you, because your unconscious is always seeing things in pictures. You're seeing your future and you're bringing it towards you by having something on the wall, some words, images that resonate with your future, and it's like pulling you forward. And then also on my pages in the magazine, I'm referring to the energy map of your home, the feng shui energy map, where there are places you can do things and you can put things. And it's not exactly secret formulas, but just, you know, boosting the energy in certain ways, bringing in the right images. I mean, just as one example, if you are a single person wanting a relationship and then you decided you'd look around at the art you've got and they're all single women, this is the single life I've created. I mean, it's kind of an example of it. But, you know, if you look around and see what you're bringing into your life, because you're all the time telling your subconscious, this is my life. This is what my home is saying. So, you know, go and have a look at the article and see some of the things you can do. But we all have unlimited potential to create things. And that is magic, isn't it? Having something happen that we've had that thought about. Everything starts with a thought. Everything.
Beautiful. And I love how you link the home to manifestation and creation, which brings me not neatly to my topic, which is creating your best reality, because it's been so proven now by so many incredible thought leaders since the beginning of the last century, that we are creators, that we are creating our reality, and in doing so, we are actually embodiments of the divine. So we do have this divine power, whether we call it the goddess or magic, or, you know, or universal principle, or whatever, but actually we do have this the divine power, because creation is divine. It is totally divine, and every single one of us, men too, but women feel it because of this birthing process, is that we are actually divine creators. We can't not create. That's what we came here to do. And the other thing, I love that you brought up the style. So this is a little bit of this is a Jenny rant, is with the way that the pandemic's gone, and there's been a degeneration of standards of people's presentation and their image. It's so easy to not bother because we're not going to events or we're not, you know, in an office with seeing people. But know that looking after your appearance and your image is to honor yourself. So I love what you said. I did the same thing recently. I just went out and I bought a whole load of things that I just said, I have got to upgrade my whole. All right, we've got to be comfortable now. We know we are at home a lot more, but I always want to be beautiful. So never neglect your appearance. Never neglect your image. That there's two reasons. First of all, it actually raises your vibe. It actually puts you in a higher vibration. Just feeling beautiful puts you in a higher vibration, and it actually helps other people get into a higher vibration. And you honor people. When you show up in, you know, you've made some sort of effort or whatever way that is your unique style. It's not about fashion. Is that people feel honored by your presence, that you've taken the time to show up for them as well as you. And I really think that's one of the most important aspects of a goddess that there are. It's just we show up as ourselves with all our unique beauty, and in doing so we honor others. And I think that is the absolute epitome of being a goddess. So I hope listeners and readers and watchers that you have really leaned into this idea of embracing your goddess in every single way, in your career, in your home, in your fitness, in your wardrobe, in your meals, in your food, in your relationships. We didn't even go there today. In every part of your life is to embrace the goddess. First thing to do for that is to subscribe to the magazine. The URL is going along the bottom. When you subscribe to the magazine, you get your newest issue. The January issue just drops into your inbox. When you're in your thank you email, you have access to not just these amazing 4 ladies, but we have 8 ladies. We have actually 11 ladies with 2 interviews, 2 premium guests, and these ladies every single month bring you their just life-changing wisdom, not to mention a plethora of beautiful resources. So, as I said in the beginning, this is the most exciting new platform for women that there is out there. We've been called the magazine for the new earth, the Vogue of feminine high performance, and all sorts of other accolades. So you don't want to miss this, ladies. Go and subscribe, and we will see you. Come and meet us. We're all on Facebook somewhere. So come and meet us and share your journey to your highest life with us. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Alice and Gina and Izahar and Liana and all the members of my Preeminence Posse for sharing so generously your incredible wisdom and beauty and gifts with the world to anybody who's ready to receive it. So thank you, ladies.